happening in broad daylight. The fight finally panics the spotted deer. Deer are these leopards' main quarry, including the larger and far heavier sambar. That's an adult sambar stag, and here's a female. Leopards prey on quite small animals too, like the black-naped hare. Some leopards, usually young ones, even specialize in catching birds. Grey langurs, one of the most agile and wary of monkeys, hate leopards and are always on the lookout for them. Despite their agility in the trees and on the ground, they sometimes get caught. These langurs are simply playing. The leopard's only large rival predators are the big crocodiles, who lie half submerged and grab deer when they come to drink. These crocodiles have killed a young buffalo. The sloth bears are termite eaters, so they're not really rivals, though some incredible fights between leopards and bears have been seen. When standing upright, a sloth bear is 6 feet tall. Leopards are solitary animals. They seldom consort with their own kind except to play together as youngsters and, as adults, to mate. Though they are loners, they're continually advertising their presence to other leopards. They do this by scent marking. Male and female both leave their visiting cards wherever they go. If you're admiring that magnificent spotted fur, reflect on this grim fact. It takes from 5 to 7 leopards to make one leopard skin coat. The fur trade now bans leopard skins internationally, but illegal hunting still goes on for black market traders. A female leopard has passed this way, spraying her scent mark high up on a tree. The male detects it in the same way that Harriet would have detected her future mate. You might expect leopards to keep away from tracks frequented by man, but they often use them for preference. Tracks make for much easier traveling than the matted undergrowth of the jungle, and the sand aids silent movement. In the jungle, even a leopard can't avoid making a little noise by disturbing twigs and leaves. There's another scent mark. Follow the spoor of a leopard along one of these sandy tracks, and you discover that a traveling leopard leaves the path every 20 yards or so to blaze its own scent trail. It's incredible that such a solitary creature should need to keep in touch with its own kind to such a degree. A good deal of this scent marking is a territorial warning to others to keep off the originator's home range. And of course, quite a bit of it is part of the ritual of courtship and mating. The main reason the leopard is so successful over a range that extends from near desert to rainforest, from sea level to high altitude, is that it has few special demands. All it requires is a plentiful supply of prey and water. Here it has both. The leopard has two main methods of attack. Sometimes it waits poised in a tree. This tactic has two advantages. Prey animals seldom look upwards for danger, and the leopard's scent tends to get carried away on the breeze. It also has disadvantages. Success depends on the victim standing or passing conveniently underneath. Another problem. In the treetops, there are the vociferous and ever-present langurs, who give the game away by sounding the alarm. Spotted deer are never slow to take the hint and to repeat the alarm call in their own high-pitched fashion. Most of the time, leopards catch their prey by stealth and at ground level. The deer are too wary, and the leopard knows it. This leopard possibly hasn't eaten for 24 hours, and he's determined to get a meal somehow. Now that the deer have fled, even a hare wouldn't come amiss. Eventually, at the side of the waterhole, he finds something even better on the menu: piglets. Every leopard's favorite snack. This is not this leopard's lucky day. Wild pigs with their slashing tusks are extremely formidable opponents, particularly when defending their families. While the adult pigs gather up their young and lead them back to the waterside, let's just see that attack, an incredible routing of the leopard in slowed-up action. Leopard leaps in the air to escape, you can just see that his tail is badly bent. He also has a tusk slash on his offside front leg. He's probably lucky to escape so lightly after onslaught by around 600 pounds of furious pig. Leopards can afford to spend a great deal of time doing absolutely nothing. This isn't to say that a leopard will only hunt when it's hungry. Even when it has a full stomach, an easy chance to kill is very often taken. But most of the time, especially after feeding, leopards spend relaxing in the way that only cats seem fully to understand. Like all highly efficient predators, they don't waste energy that they would simply have to replace by more hunting. Movement is always leisurely. Nervous fidgeting is left to the potential victims. In leopard country, spotted deer can't afford to relax, ever. This, then, was the world of the wild leopard, which Billy Arjun Singh's hand-reared leopardess Harriet had entered when she strode into the jungle from her home at Tiger Haven. Harriet stayed away for some time. Then one day, just as unexpectedly as she had vanished, she was back. Harriet seemed to take up exactly where she'd left off in her relationship with Tara and with Billy. She was just as affectionate, but as the weeks went by, Billy became certain that she was pregnant by a wild leopard she'd met in the jungle. As her 3-month pregnancy developed, he prepared for the birth by building her a treehouse close to Tiger Haven. Harriet took to the treehouse at once, and as the time of her confinement drew near, refused to leave it. From time to time, Billy visited the treehouse to see that all was well. Then one morning, when he climbed the ladder, Harriet had a surprise for him. 2 small newcomers. A leopard heavy with young is at a disadvantage when she has to hunt. Nature compensates for this by by making her pregnancy a short one of between 90 and 105 days. But a short pregnancy means that the cubs are born, just like domestic kittens, blind and nearly helpless. By leaving them unable to move but safely hidden in a den, the mother is free to go hunting and therefore to produce milk for her offspring. On their mother's milk, the cubs doubled their birth weight in 4 weeks and trebled it in 6. Their eyes opened on the 9th day. Ely, a mother of several litters herself, definitely knew that something was up. Right from the start, Harriet let Billy visit her and even left her cub for a while to give him a reassuring lick. It all seemed too good to be true. But the wild instincts were still stirring in Harriet, and she soon showed that she had her own plans for her 2 cubs. 3 weeks after their birth, Harriet decided to move the cubs into the jungle. Perhaps the treehouse didn't feel safe enough. Almost certainly, she felt the need for a more natural lair. Luckily, Billy saw her leave with a second of the cubs. He followed her at a discreet distance, using the alarm calls of the disturbed langurs as a guide. After a while, the cries of the monkeys ceased. This meant that they could no longer see Harriet, and he became scared that he'd lost her. Then she reappeared from some tall grass. Harriet was making for a hollow at the base of a tree. He'd found the den that she'd chosen, and there inside was the first cub. Harriet had a good look around to make sure no other predators were watching before she deposited her second cub. Now she was back in the wild, Billy was worried that even his presence might disturb her. She was obviously much more wary out here in the jungle. So he built a grass blind, or machan, from which to observe her. Very little study had been done on leopards rearing young in a wild state, and this was a unique opportunity. Leopard cubs grow quickly. They're weaned in 3 months. After that, they share their mother's catches, starting on a diet of raw flesh, which will last the rest of their lives. At 4 months, they begin to follow their mother on her nightly excursions, learning the difficult art of hunting. At the age of 2, they're experienced enough to live a completely independent life. Possibly because this was her first litter, Harriet had only produced twins. Female leopards sometimes give birth to as many as 6 young, though 3 is a more normal-sized family. At 2 weeks old, the cubs were very active and had to be restrained from crawling out into the menacing green world of the jungle just beyond the entrance to the den. There was always the warm and comforting presence of their mother for reassurance. But now a factor far beyond Harriet's control was entering the family life. The monsoon was approaching fast. This year, the first storm broke early. From the safety of Tiger Haven, Billy became increasingly worried about the fate of the cubs. The den was in an old riverbed, and with the amount of rain that was falling, the lair was bound to be flooded very soon. With luck, Harriet might carry the cubs to higher ground. If not, then they must surely drown.